Hello everyone and welcome back to Voxel Tales. My name is Dan and this is episode 4 of Modded Minecraft. Now, you may be asking, Dan, where the heck are you? Well, allow me to welcome you to the basement. You see, a fair amount has happened since last episode, and most of it was very boring and very grindy, but I'll do my best to summarise it. It all started when I sat down to record footage for this episode. Okay, so it's chucking it down outside. Not sure if it's storming. Is it storming? No, it is in fact not storming. Good to know. So, the first thing I'd like to do today is organise my inventory because, as you can see, it is an absolute mess. It's like everything we own is just chucked into all these random chests. For instance, I forgot I even made this hammer. Totally forgot. Now, something else we probably need is an actual storeroom. And I was thinking, I know just the place for a storeroom. Right here. So, what we're going to do is close the door in this grotty weather for a start. Pick a spot. And there we go. So yeah, I made a big hole in the floor and committed to making a storeroom. I decided I'd like the storeroom/basement walls to be made of smooth stone, and that would require a lot of smelting. Lots and lots of smelting. At this rate, we'll run out of coal before we actually accomplish anything. Eventually, though, we cleared out the area and got all the blocks placed. Is this a good idea? Probably not. It is one of mine, after all. All the people who fast-forwarded through this bit will have never heard this line. Just food for thought. I mean, I could have said anything while this was going on. They wouldn't know. I mean, how could they? I remembered here that I'd spotted some soul sand in the cemetery, so I went and nabbed a bit with the intention of making a glass-surrounded water elevator. Then I noticed what a rubbish place I'd chosen for it to go and changed my mind. You know, now would be an excellent time to go subscribe if you were considering it. I did eventually move the entry hole over to this corner and installed the temporary water vata. During that clip, you may have noticed this little guy. This is Luggage, and yes, he is a chest with legs. Just take a look. I don't remember why I was looking at my key bindings, but as I was scrolling, I spotted one for call luggage, which didn't seem to make a lot of sense. So I bound it to see what it actually did, and it made me whistle like I was calling a dog. Even more confused, I looked in the item search for luggage and discovered this chest-looking thing with sticks poking out of it. Its recipe just needed sticks, a chest, and a diamond, all of which we had, so I made one. And at first it looked like I'd just made some kind of mini chest. But then... Hi! Okay, you're a chest. Do you do anything? Do you follow me around? I don't mean to sound too excited, but I think I might have made a pet chest. He follows me. I have a pet chest. Ha! Come, Luggage. Menial tasks await. I have a pet chest. This is fantastic. So excited. Who's a good chest? You are. Yes, you are. So I have now officially replaced the traitorous hedgehog that abandoned us with a sentient chest that follows me around. Wait, was that a ghost? Why is there a ghost? Also, the shed might be haunted. Huh. Weird. Would you like to look after a stick? And this duck egg. So I spent the entirety of the last episode making a backpack, when I probably could have just made a luggage. Brill. As Luggage and I were transporting things to the new storeroom, I had a visit from that florist who got stuck in our cow pen last episode.
Hello there, Mr. Adventurer.
Oh, hi. What can I do for you?
Well, you see, I need some pots for my flowers, and the chief suggested I come see you.
Did he now? Well, I think I gathered some clay at some point. Just give me a minute and I'll see what I can come up with.
Really? Well, thank you very much. I'll pay you for them, obviously.
So I looked up how to make them, grabbed some bricks, whipped up a few pots, and made my first trade with a local.
Those are perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. If you need any more, you know where I am.
Pleasure doing business with you, kind sir.
Yeah, you too. See ya. What else did we get up to? While stuff was smelting, I went back to Mallory Pond to clear out the rest of the surface resources. If you were wondering where the dark oak came from for the floor down here, it came from the imposter shed that I systematically tore to pieces. At some point I changed into the iron armour we found in that chest last episode and tried repairing it on the anvil we found there, which immediately broke said anvil. Oh. I also started up 2 mining tunnels. One quite close to the surface and one supposedly at the best level to find diamonds, though I remain unconvinced. I got it in my head that it would be a good idea to be able to access the mine from the basement, so set up a waypoint on the map to dig over that way. When I dug right under the base, I went back there and dug the world's most dangerous hole. I also put up a barricade around it because some idiot would end up falling in there and dying. I've transported everything but my bed into the basement, which between my inventory, the backpack and luggage didn't actually take all that long. You see, now it just looks like I have a gigantic bedroom. For the sake of keeping the villagers safe, I put a box around the portal to the prisoners' quarters. If I can go through to their side, there's nothing stopping them coming over to ours. Back at base, I made a new anvil and lamented how much I didn't like the water vator. I really don't like this thing. I want something more mechanical, more creative. So I started looking up what we needed to make some of the create parts, like this extendo piston. Oh well, we have this. Zinc nugget and andesite, we can do that no problem. And I have already forgotten how to do this. It's a square. Just need planks. I'm sure I must have planks. 2 whole planks. Wow. I guess we're gonna go grow some trees. It's not a thunderstorm, it's just rain. Bit of rain never hurt anybody. My lack of wood called for a quick tree farming sesh, and a little and deforestation later, my wood was looking much healthier. The majority of Minecraft stuff is made with the crafting table, but andesite casings required alloy to be placed manually onto stripped logs, which was a nice change. Nice. Right, what else do I need? Slabs. We have slabs. I got a load from the imposter shed. Now we had plenty of planks, I could make the piston poles, and finally the pistons themselves. Okay, I want 4 of these. It dawned on me that before I started constructing the new lift, I would need to figure out some way to power it. Create uses rotational energy to drive its components, and from what I've seen, the easiest way of producing power early game is with a water wheel. For those I needed shafts, which I turned into cogwheels, then bigger cogwheels, and finally a pair of water wheels, because if one is good, then 2 must be better. That's just science. Hey, it stopped raining. Fantastic. My first instinct was to use the river outside to drive the water wheels, but that didn't pan out. Go river, turn my water wheel. No? Fine, be that way. See if I can. So I planned on installing a system closer to the shed. It would mean using less resources anyway. So it was that I removed the perfectly functional water vator, punched a hole in the wall so I could get in and out of the basement, and started tearing up the floor that I'd just put in. I installed a couple of the pistons and measured the height of the elevator shaft, then started digging out the inverse for the extension poles. In order to flip the rotation when the lift needs to come back down, we were going to need a couple of gear shifts. Boosh. I built this hand crank so I can test stuff until I connect the power up, and a quick crank revealed that yes, pistons indeed go up. Beautiful. The rest of the poles went in and I zipped upstairs to make sure they were long enough. Yep, that's exactly where they need to be. Go team. The next phase of my lift design called for a powered toggle latch. In vanilla redstone terms, it works exactly like something called a T flip-flop. When a redstone signal goes in, it flips the lever, and it will stay flipped until it receives another redstone signal. This is good, because it means the pistons will keep turning the way they need to until the lift has gone all the way up or down. Once I dug the shaft low enough, the pistons could go all the way up and all the way down. Fantastic. Feeling pretty good about how things were progressing, I covered in part of the floor again and dug out an area I expected to need in order to get power to the lift. And it's at this point that everything falls apart. Full disclosure, I designed this lift in a creative world so you wouldn't need to watch me figuring it out as I went along. The design calls for use of something called a redstone link, a wireless transmitter/receiver that I plan to use to connect the call button upstairs to the circuits in the basement. I failed to check what I needed to make this component, and therein lies the issue. It needs brass. How do we get brass? By mixing copper and zinc over a blaze burner. How do we get a blaze burner? We make an empty blaze burner and capture a blaze inside it like a Pokemon. Can you see the issue here? The only place that we can get a blaze is the nether, and we don't even have proper armor yet. So, I'm afraid that's where we're going to leave off for this episode. It kind of feels like we did loads and accomplished nothing. But at least we know what our mission is for next time. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me. If you enjoyed the video, then consider subscribing or leaving us a cheeky like or a comment down below. I've been Dan, this has been Voxel Tales, and until next time, be good. And if you can't be good, don't get caught. Bye guys.